This is the AB4WS radio show. Every week, bringing you the exciting amateur radio news and information happening in the greater Cincinnati, Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana areas.
The AB4WS radio show can be found on the Apple Podcast app or your favorite podcast application. Leona Adams, W1LGA, the ARRL Field Services Assistant, announced this week that Alan Morgan, KY10, was the only person nominated for the section manager in Kentucky and therefore has been elected as the new ARRL Kentucky section manager beginning April 2025. Congratulations to Alan and look forward to a lot of new and innovative ideas coming out of the Kentucky section, bringing a lot of positive change for amateur radio in the Commonwealth. Congratulations to Odie, W4IOD, who had a great 2024 ham radio experience. Check out Odie's 2024 ham radio experience in pictures on the W4IOD YouTube channel. Time to dust off that equipment and get it warmed up for the month-long VHF-UHF event called Winter Heat, which was created to provide an opportunity for operators to test their VHF and UHF equipment over an extended period of time. The event also provides emergency communications operators to test their emergency communications plans and procedures. Winter Heat is a VHF-UHF simplex event which runs from January 1st to 23:59 UTC on January 31st, 2025. Contacts can be made over FM voice or digital, Fusion, D-Star, DMR, but all simplex contacts. This is the 6th year for the event, Winter Heat, with over 785 participants and 214,000 contacts during last year's event. To learn how you can enjoy this event, go to hamactive.com. The Moorhead Amateur Radio Society annual Christmas dinner was a tremendous success, and they had a great turnout. Danny Densler, W0JMP, was the winner of the $100 gift card giveaway. They also brought in the new club officers for 2025. They are President Danny Densler, W0JMP. Vice President is Justin Reynolds, KY0KSP. Treasurer is James Sargent, KN4RDT. Secretary is Carol Lafferty Densler, K4SAF. Their next meeting is on January 2nd, 2025 at the State Fire Commission Building in Moorhead, Kentucky. Would you like to win a radio simply by being a net control station for a net? Well, the Northern Kentucky Amateur Radio Club is getting serious on encouraging all members to take a turn as net control for the weekly net on the 146.790 WB4WS repeater with a PL of 123.0 by giving away a Quanshang K5 radio with the F4WHN firmware already installed, donated by Doug Cooper, KE4DTC. You can win this by volunteering for the net control and net logger duties for the first time during the time period of January 1st and March 31st. Each volunteer will get a chance to win a radio for each net control or net logger duties they perform. The winner will be drawn and announced at the April club meeting. To give yourself a chance to volunteer to be a net control or net logger by emailing the net manager, Al WB8RGE at WB8RGE at NKARC.org. Do you know a ham radio operator between the age of 15 and 25? Well, the camper application period opened up for December 1st, 2024 at youthontheair.org for the Youth on the Air Camp of the Americas, June 15th through the 20th, 2025 in the Denver area of Thornton, Colorado. Eligible youth are licensed ham radio operators between the age of 15 and 25. Up to 50 campers will be accepted and priority given to the first-time attendees. For more information about the event, go to youthontheair.org/Denver 2025 or contact Camp Director Neil Rapp, WB9VPG, at director@youthontheair.org. One young lady is ecstatic about having talked to Santa Claus at the North Pole from Letcher County, Kentucky. KQ4LEE Tanner Wolfstarter was able to make contact with Santa Claus on the HF ham radio on the CQ Santa Net. She was super excited to be able to talk to Santa on the radio, perhaps a future ham radio operator, because of this experience. The Santa Net will run through Christmas Eve. The net takes place every evening at 7 p.m. Central Time on 3.916 megahertz. Operators may check in up to 1/2 hour before the 7 p.m. Central Time start. It is also live streamed on YouTube. Ho, ho, ho! Amateur radio operators younger than 25 years of age who are on the air as a special event stations around the world and throughout the month of December in celebration of Youth on the Air. They'll be on all bands and all modes at various times. Listen out for call signs K8Y, K80, K8T, and W8A, as well as international call signs ending in YOTA. Last year, the Youth made over 100,000 QSOs in December for the event. For more information, go to events.ham-yoda.com. On December 14th at 1 p.m., the Brunch Bunch will be meeting at the Red Robin Gourmet Burgers, located at 7250 Houston Road in Florence, Kentucky, at the corner of Kentucky 18 and Houston Road, just west of I-75. On December 14th, the Bullitt County Amateur Radio Society, KY4KY, will have their annual Christmas brunch at noon at the El Napole in Hillview, Kentucky. They'll be recognizing club members for their achievements in the past year. The Queen City Emergency Net will be participating in the ARRL 10-meter contest on Saturday, December 14th at the club radio station W8VVL, 2111 Dana Avenue in Cincinnati, Ohio. For more information on the 10-meter contest, go to ARRL.org/10-meter. December 15th at 7 p.m. is the Newcomer and Elmer's Net with Robert K4PKM on the Okayan Amateur Radio Society repeater of 146.670 with a PL tone of 123.0. Robert will talk about tuners and matching networks. December 16th is the Northern Kentucky Amateur Radio Club Christmas Dinner at 7:30 p.m. at the Golden Corral on Houston Road in Florence, Kentucky. RSVP on the NKRCgroups.io.
Repeater news.
Are you looking for the most up-to-date list of repeaters in the greater Cincinnati area? Well, I've compiled and tried to keep up-to-date an Excel spreadsheet of repeaters in the greater Cincinnati area. Tabs separate the bands, modes, and you can easily look up just for DMR repeaters or 2-meter analog repeaters and so on. The list includes 2 meters, 220, 440, 6 meters, D-Star, DMR, C4FM, P25, and some other classifications as well. Every time I update the file, I include the date in the file name so you know you have the latest update. To download the file, go to the AB4WS Radio Show Facebook page and go to the file section and download the most recent file. Any errors, problems, additions, or corrections, email me at ab4ws.radio@gmail.com. While the 147-375 K8PIG repeater in Walton, Kentucky is not working again, we have a substitute. David 84cc and the WW4KY group have a new tower up in Walton, Kentucky, and the 441.800 repeater is on the air, and it's been playing very well with a very good coverage area. Also, the 443-175 N80XA repeater in Florence is playing very well too. Hopefully, the K8PIG group will get the 147-375 repeater back on the air soon.
Hamfests.
On Sunday, January 19, 2025, is the Sunday Creek Amateur Radio Federation Hamfest at the Shade Community Center, 2380 Old US 33 in Shade, Ohio. For more information, email Jeremy, KCAQDQ at JERAMY_DUNCAN@yahoo.com.
Are you looking to upgrade your license? Do you have someone else that's interested in the hobby? Here are some upcoming exam opportunities.
The Milford Amateur Radio Club holds amateur radio testing on the third Thursday of each month at 6 p.m. at the Miami Township Civic Center, 6101 Meyer Drive in Milford, Ohio. Please pre-register at milfordhamradio.org. The Dayton Amateur Radio Association has exams frequently. For their exam schedule, email exams.w8bi@gmail.com. On December 14th at 10 a.m., the Westchester Amateur Radio Association will host an amateur radio exam session at the Voice of America Museum, 8070 Tylersville Road in Westchester, Ohio. Please pre-register at hamstudy.org/sessions/WC8VOA. On Saturday, January 11th, 2025 at 10 a.m., amateur radio testing session will be held at the Clark County Emergency Operations Center, 200 Maryland Avenue in Winchester, Kentucky. For more information, contact Daryl Epperson, AC4YD at 859-771-1834. On January 11th at 10 a.m., the Westchester Amateur Radio Association will host an amateur radio exam session at the Voice of America Museum, 8070 Tylersville Road in Westchester, Ohio. Please pre-register at hamstudy.org/sessions/WC8VOA. On January 20th at 5:30 p.m., the Northern Kentucky Amateur Radio Club will hold an amateur radio exam session at the Bethesda Community Church, 989 East Mount Zion Road in Independence, Kentucky. You must register by emailing Mark Volstad, AI4BJ, at mvolstad@twc.com. On January 25th at 9 a.m., the Dial Radio Club will hold an amateur radio testing session at 6032 Morris Road in Hamilton, Ohio. To register, go to hamstudy.org/sessions/DIAL. On February 8th at 10 a.m., the Westchester Amateur Radio Association will host an amateur radio exam session at the Voice of America Museum, 8070 Tylersville Road in Westchester, Ohio. Please pre-register at hamstudy.org/sessions/WC8VOA. Special thanks to this week's content contributors: KY4RW, KN4COE, KY4GW, WB8YYS, KD8ZLD, K9HIO, N8LAR, K4NKU.
If you have something you think other amateur radio operators in the area would be interested in, send the information or your recorded audio file attached in an email to ab4ws.radio@gmail.com.
Covering your amateur radio news and information in the greater Cincinnati, Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana tri-state area. This is Jack Prindle, AB4WS in Big Bone, Kentucky.